Hey folks, Mr. Modern Survival here. Saturday morning, I got me some good strong coffee, good stout, the way I like it. And as you can see by what's in front of you, today's subject will be food prep. Now I've not done a lot of videos on food prep, but I plan on doing that a great deal in the next few weeks and on out through the next year probably, because by the end of the year I want to be about 3 times or more as prepared food-wise as I am right now. This is one of the things that I had neglected in the past and had really been focusing on the defensive and water issues, but really had let down on my food prep, and so I want to get caught up on that. Now, let me say this. This is my disclaimer. I am not an expert, and I've learned some good things from a lot of good men, but I am by no means an expert. I do not claim to be, and so these are just some tips and tricks that I use that I think will help you, especially if you're starting out. Now, some of you guys that are subbed to my channel are way ahead of me. You've got all this covered, and you know the basis on past. So I hope you enjoy the video, but this probably won't do you any good as far as these tips and tricks, because some of you guys, I mean, are just really advanced in your prepping, and you've got far more to teach me than I could ever teach you. But I do want to show this real quick, and if you'll notice, I've got a vacuum sealer here. We're going to be using that, and today's subject as far as food prepping is actually cheap prepping. And don't be afraid of the word cheap, especially if you're starting out, because one of the things I've noticed that starting out as far as food prepping can be very overwhelming. Prepping in general, just getting started, can be overwhelming in itself because of the knowledge of what could happen and what most likely will happen in America weighs heavy on you, and the knowledge of not being prepared at all. So getting started is really like running the first mile of a marathon, and it can be really overwhelming. And if you never learn to do this on a budget, then you're really gonna suffer. Now these are some cheap items that I've got picked out here, and I'm in my kitchen right now. So I've got 4 kids. If one of my kids runs through here and screams, or pinches his sister, or throws a shoe at her brother, don't worry about that. That's just another day. Those of you who've got kids, you understand that. So if a dishwasher cranks up or something like that, then no worries. I'm in my kitchen, not in my office today, so it may be a little loud, or who knows, they may actually be good through the entire video. That would be awesome. And so I want to show you some of these items. These are some items that my wife actually picked up this week. This is part of what she picked up. This is not all of it, but this is a sample of some of the things that she was able to get at a discount grocer for nearly nothing. Now she's got these. She picked out these pasta mixes, if I can get my brain to work right, for under $1. I'm talking like 79 cents or something that she was able to get these picked up for. And we're looking at 2 servings per container, and about 230 calories per serving. So in this container, in this bag of pasta, you're looking at 460 calories. That's awesome. And it's chicken flavored, so it doesn't actually have any chicken in it, but still yeah, this is precious calories for under $1. I've got another one here of a different flavor, a couple of different flavors of these that she picked out, and in this package as it is, I've got about a year from right now on this package. I've got about a year on the expiration date, but we're going to talk about some of that in just a minute. All of these products, with the exception of the treat meat here, treat meat, it's a love-hate relationship. I love to eat and live, but really not a huge fan of treat meat. But if you were raised the way that I was raised when I was a kid, then you survived on pinto beans, ramen noodles, and treat meat, and occasionally the wonderful treat of some macaroni and cheese. I'm talking about poor. Well, now I was so poor when I grew up that when Dad threw the chicken bones out the back door, the dogs signaled for a fair catch, and that's no joke. And so don't be afraid of these cheap items. We're talking about survival here. We're not talking about putting up comfort foods. I'll do another video on that later. We do need comfort foods. But these are foods that are going to sustain us from day to day, and they're going to keep us going. We're going to have rice and beans and all those things that are going to be packed with carbs and proteins and things that we need for energy. But you know, these kind of things here are important too. And this is more of a midterm anyway. Here we've got these I really like. These are really, really good. These soup mixes are actually very, very tasty, and they're packed with calories. I've got about a year from right now on this product on the expiration date. My wife paid $1 for it. And if you'll notice down here at the bottom, makes a half gallon of soup. That's a lot of soup in a little bitty package. All you have to do is add water. And so how do I take this product that lasts a year and incorporate this cheap product into my food prep? Well, the answer is the vacuum sealer. Now, let me say this. If you've not seen Zombietactics channel, if you've not seen his video series on food prep for the lazy, late, and cheap, you need to watch those, because he's got a ton more tips that'll really help you out if you're trying to do this on a budget. And you should be trying to do it on a budget, because the more you do on a budget, the more you're going to be able to do overall. And so go check out his series of videos on Zombietactics channel, food prep for the lazy, the late, and the cheap. And he's got a ton of good stuff. And one of the things that I noticed that he was incorporating items like this, items that you could get at a discount grocer for under $1. And you either, and I saw a video where he actually was placing oxygen absorbers inside these containers and using the containers there. But I have a vacuum sealer, and I have a ton of bags. And so with my vacuum sealer and with a ton of bags that I have, I can utilize that now, because the bags are cheap. I can utilize that now to take this product here that's going to last about a year, and most likely I'm going to either triple or maybe even quadruple the life of that product by sucking all the air out of that and sealing that up in a good bag. Now, let me say about these bags, this is not Mylar. This does have a life expectancy on it. This bag will not last for a number of years, but with what's going on in America right now, we're looking at catastrophic collapse, most likely before this bag will ever break down. This bag will leach. It will let oxygen in, but for right now and for the next couple, 3, 4, 5 years maybe, I'm thinking this bag's going to be okay, and it's a far cry better than what it was in this bag here. And so for under $1, here you've got a half gallon of soup in this very space-saving package that I can pack a ton of these into my 55-gallon drums and have meal after meal after meal of good stuff in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put these in Mylar for some extra protection in case they do leach. I don't know if I'll do that right off the bat. I may pack them up and then later on add the Mylar later. But all these products are less than $1. Every product, every one of these on this table, my wife got for less than $1. With the exception of these wonderful, glorious, life-sustaining ramen noodles, which I think were around $1.50, $1.20, something like that. There's 10 of these in the pack. What we're going to do is take those out of the package, vacuum seal those bad boys, and what happens that we triple the life, maybe even longer. We may take a product that we paid $1 for, and we make it worth its weight in gold in the future. Macaroni and cheese, same deal. These little boxes of macaroni and cheese, they're in a box that's constantly got a flow of oxygen in and out of that box, and is just breaking down that material as we speak. We suck out all the air, and we make it last 3-4 times as long as it normally would. Pasta's the same way. I've got some pastas that I'm going to do, and I just wanted to come on and show this. This is the budget way to do this. This is one way. This is not the only way. If you've got a better way, and you probably do, or if you've got some tips and tricks that are going to help me do this better, I by all means, I am into the information sharing. Leave me a video response or a comment or a link or whatever it is that you think will help me do this better. But this is cheap. I mean, this is absolutely the cheapest way to go, and I'm going to be doing a ton of these in the near future and packing these things away so that I can be better prepared. I'm going to put on some still shots here in just a minute at the end of the video to show you before and after with products like this, and this. Some before and after shots of when it's vacuum sealed and labeled and ready to pack up. So until next time, this is Mr. Modern Survival. Stay safe. God bless. Keep prepping.